Are you sick with having to deal with Ryzeal and Maliss and Master Duel back to back to back every single time? Well, have I got the solution for you? This deck is the ultimate. It is the Achilles heel to these two decks. Oh boy, if you hate these decks, and then I will tell you right now, this deck will easily help you get revenge against those decks. This deck is the ultimate Ryzeal Maliss destroyer. There's no better deck than this. This deck will help you burn those two decks to the ground. What's going on, my friend? This is SynchroGuy, and today I'm here to bring you my latest updated version of Tenpai for the newest season of Master Duel. I forget the number right now. Anyway, as you may be aware, the best decks currently going on in Master Duel right now are Ryzeal and Maliss, and they are practically everywhere. Everywhere. Like, I don't know what it's like in the lower levels of rank rather, but if you're playing Diamond or Master, 9 times out of 10, you're playing against one of these two decks. I cannot begin to tell you the amount of Ryzeal and Maliss duels I have faced. I mean, there were times I have faced against other decks, thankfully, but still, again, 9 times out of 10, you're facing one of these two decks, and for some people, that could be very annoying. And it could be especially annoying if, well, you can't, kick their butts, because, I mean, yeah, sucks. But thankfully, this new version of Tenpai I've been rocking with, it has been helping me really just kick their butts. And I'm only happy to showcase it to you just so you can start doing the same thing. This, again, Tenpai, so much fun, and yeah. Oh man, it's just like, So yeah, if you're sick of Ryzeal and Maliss and you want to start kicking their butts, then this is probably the best deck for you to rock with. Now, before we go over the list, don't forget to hit that like button, click subscribe, and ding that notification bell so you can get more awesome Yu-Gi-Oh! Related content. Alright, let's check out the deck. Alright, so here's the current Tenpai list I've been rocking with lately. So in this deck, we're playing 2 copies of Max Z, 3 copies of Ash Blossom, 3 copies of Hydra, 1 Fadra, 2 Genroku, 1 Dora, 1 Chandra, 2 Perilia, 3 Flawless, 2 Artifact Lancia, 1 Santa Claus, 1 Raigeki, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, 1 Heavy Storm, 1 Lightning Storm, 3 copies of Ultimate Slayer, 1 copy of Sengen Summoning, and 2 copies of Droplet, followed by the 1 Kite Hit to round off our spells, and then for the traps, 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence, 3 copies of Dominus Impulse, and then 2 copies of Red Reboot. Then for the extra deck, then we have 1 copy of Intis, 1 copy of Garura, 1 copy of Golden Cloud Beast, 1 copy of Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Dragon, 1 Q-Build, 2 copies of Binding Dragon, 1 copy of Trident Dragon, 1 copy of Transcendent Dragon, 1 Mirror Logic Aggregator, 1 Typhon, 1 Harangue Seal, 1 Hita, 1 Tri-Brigade Farragut, and then 1 Tri-Brigade Orange Pucka for the Link 5 Tri-Brigade monster. I will try to get that last word right at some point. Now, a quick couple of notes I want to make about this deck real quick. So first off, you may be wondering about like the fact that why am I only playing 2 copies of Artifact Lancia? Well, this is kind of more like, yes, this card is good to stop a mouse, but this is kind of like I'm only playing 2 because of the fact, well, our deck kind of lacks a really good amount of consistency due to the hits, with Chandra, Sengen Summoning, and Kaiman being at 1. Our deck consistency is very quite low, and sometimes could be a bit of a struggle at times. Like either we either have we don't have any of our starter cards, or just moments where we have too many starter cards and not enough disruption. So, that's why we're playing a bunch of cards like the Flawless, the Mold Charmies, because they help give us additional draws, and that's kind of the main thing we want to do. We kind of want to be able to get some draws going. And yeah, being able to stop our Maliss opponents with Lancia is definitely very important, definitely a good way to stop them. But I would highly insist that if you have a chance to get more draws through your Mold Charmers or your Max Z, get those draws first before you try to Lancia them. Otherwise, you're gonna be quite a bit of a pickle. And that brings us to another thing, and the other thing is that there's a debate about whether you should drop your Max Z or your Mold Charmies at the start of your draw phase, or just a little bit later when your opponent actually tries to special summon something. The argument most people are probably going for right now is the fact that you should activate them during the draw phase. That way you don't get hit by something like Talents, which obviously, yes, that would be very, very bad. But in a deck like ours, like Tenpai, I think we have to take the risk, and that is we hold on to these cards and don't activate during the draw phase. Instead, wait until our opponent tries to actually special summon something, and then we drop our cards there so that we can guarantee ourselves a draw. Because again, our consistency is not that great. We need to see cards that we need to see both cards that allow us to do our main combo and cards that can deal with our opponent's board, since we're going second a whole lot. So if we could get both of those boxes checked off, then we are golden. Overall, for the Molcharmies and Maxi, if you're playing them in a deck like Tenpai, do not use them until your opponent tries to actually special summon something that will actually guarantee you a draw if your card happens to fully resolve. And again, our deck really needs that, because we are pretty much just a one trick one pony. So it's either we get our combo going and then we win right off the bat, or our opponent is able to stop us and we are SLL. If this is like a poker table, we're pretty much going all in every single time. So if we're going all in, we have to make sure our all in is gonna guarantee us the win as much as close as we can possibly get. If you have any more questions about the deck, feel free to, leave a comment down below, and I can try to answer them as soon as I can, as best as I can. Alright, let's go over the replays to show what this deck does in action. Alright, for our first replay, we're going to be going against Ryzeal. And real quick, one thing I forgot to mention early in the deck profile that I want to mention here is that, me notice I'm playing Gold Stark. Well, at the time, I was trying out using, the whole, using Blaster. Because, that adds a little consistency to the deck. But if you use, as you saw in my deck profile, I'm not playing that now because Blaster's just, I have had moments where I kept seeing Blaster in my opening hand back to back. It's just, I don't know if it's just me, but I've had terrible luck with that card. Not always, but it has happened a lot. It's like, I'm just like, at this point, I rather have something else besides this if I can, because just, again, Open Blast is just so terrible, this format. Oh. But anyway, let's get back to showing off how this deck does against the top 2 meta threats. Alright, so again, our opponent's going first. They're playing Ryzeal. They're going to start off with X Ryzeal, get a search going. And notice, as I said before, I'm not going to use Flawless here because I'm going to hold on and wait until I can try to guarantee to get a draw. Because that way, if I have more cards, more options to try to, wreck my opponent's board, and then be able to go for the kill shot, even better. But unfortunately, they have the Ash Blossom to stop the Flawless threat. So, yeah, that's a bit unfortunate here. So, yeah, I mean, I probably could have tried to done the Ash Blossom, but it probably wouldn't matter. And it's just like, yeah, like at this point, I might as well just save the Ash Blossom, possibly for like during my turn. If they try to max me or something, they're doing something I don't want them to do. So yeah. Yeah, so they're going to get some searches going. Of course, I'm not dropping the Ash Blossom here because they got the field spell up, and that's just going to stop the Ash. So it's like, yeah, I'm just going Nake 1 for no reason then. So let's not let that happen. And I will tell you right now in this replay, that's actually gonna really matter here, because look at this. They are surfacing big jaws, so they playing some of the shark monsters to get a little more oomph and consistency boost to try to get more plays going. And oh boy, you're gonna like this. They exceed something to Evil Soul or a ball. It's like, oh no. I was just like, okay, just gotta miss. Okay, they hit the Ash Blossom, that's fine. That wasn't gonna do much, so okay, glad I didn't use it earlier. Whew. Oh, but obviously, I've seen this before and I knew what was coming. That was not the end of it. But they bring it back, and I'm just like, okay, just don't hit the Ultimate Slayer, we're good. Okay, they hit the Gold Star, we're okay. Oh, that was like terrible. Oh, man, again, would have been nice would have been better if Flawless had successfully resolved, but we got lucky that we at least got one starter and one way to try to wreck our opponent's board. So, yeah, alright, so they pass with this, and then we draw. Okay, it's like, oh, they drop Maxi. Okay, you know what, that's fine, that's cute. You really think we care about Maxi? Not a chance. This is Tenpai. We eat Maxi for breakfast. So we're gonna start our turn by activating Ultimate Series, send the Mirror Logic Aggregator here, bye bye Ryzeal, and then we'll use Mirror Logic's effect, negate the field spell so they can't stop us. Some Hydra, get the field spell, and we'll use it to go ahead and grab our missing Tenpai, but our opponent sees the running wall and they just scooped up. That's the one downside about playing Tenpai these days. Every time we have combo, most 9 times out of 10, our opponent's just gonna scoop it up, and they're not gonna let us do any synchro plays whatsoever. Jerk, we let you play your turn, let us play our turn. Jerks. Alright, on to the next replay. Alright, for this next replay, we're gonna be going second against Ryzeal once again, and our hand's looking, pretty darn good. Alright, so yeah, so obviously, well, we've got some ways to, disrupt them, but we're, maybe try and get a little extra cards just to see if we can maybe be able to better, and protect our combo plays and, break their board. So, they go for ice. We're going to drop Flawless. Can stick this time. Nope. They call by the Graveyard. Crap. Yeah. Alright, fine. Have your little play. Alright. Okay, so that's getting negated, and I think we all know what's going to happen here. They're going to go for Star. Star's going to, set the field spell, so that way they guarantee they don't get nipped. And, well, we're not playing nip in this deck, so obviously they don't have to worry about that. But, but still, you never know what's going to happen. But here they're going to go straight for a Detonator, so I was like, okay, very interesting choice. But, and then they'll go for a Dual Drive. I get, looking at this, I guess that makes sense because since Dual Drive can't only attach Ryzeal monsters from the graveyard to itself, and there wasn't one at the moment, so I think making the Detonator actually makes sense. So they shove. Okay, so at set 3 pass, okay, it's okay. Draw into Faja, not typically great, but we'll make do. Just like before, we'll activate our Ultimate Slayer, the ultimate Achilles heel to Ryzeal, shuffle back the Detonator, use our Mirror Logic to negate the field spell, and we probably don't want to worry too much about the back row. Yeah, we've got some traps, but we've got some ways to try to stop them. So if they try to do anything threatening, we've got ways to stop it. So thanks to our place, they're gonna try to stop us, but we got Red Reboot to stop that Plasma Hole, and yeah, they can't activate any more track cards for the rest of the turn. Yeah, go ahead, set it important, but not 1 mana too much. So we're going to clear and tag. We'll tag out. Gets a Chandra, and if I sometimes they try to use their quick play spell, if it was gonna be a problem, we had the Dumbest Impulse to stop it. So yeah. Yeah, this deck is the ultimate Slayer for against the best 2 meta decks, or at the very least, it's really good against Ryzeal, especially. Okay, so now we've seen how this deck does against Ryzeal, but what about Maliss? Well, let's check that out. Alright, we're going second against Maliss, and here I'm just going to activate straight Flawless. Yeah, I was testing Flawless also in this deck at the time because, it's a really good card for, a deck like Maliss because, they touch someone, from the, banishment a whole lot, so that it might be something. But in the end, I decided to drop it because it's not good against Ryzeal. But anyway, they're going to try to play around as best as they can, and, again, and here we're going to drop the Maxi, and as you know, I had Lancia, I probably could have done it, but again, I didn't have a very good starter. I mean, I had just the Fadra and Red Reboot. I had ways to protect my my combo play a bit, but I didn't have a starter, so I had to let them play out a bit. So and they, as soon as they try to special time, drop the Maxi. Thankfully this time resolves, and I get a draw. And luckily it's into a starter harder, and by some chance, if this goes south, well, I've got Lancia to stop them in the next turn, so there's a good way to, to ensure I've got to play for next turn, or I can see it next turn to a degree. So, yep, start charging down the Maxi. Okay, that's pretty nice. Okay, so activate Dora. We'll search out the Genroku. Genroku's effect will special summon itself straight to the field, and here just gonna synchro summon to buy Drankion. Mostly just to have kind of a big body on board, so I can try to deal some early damage. I tag again Roku, tag out, get for Chandra, and we now start doing our combo play. Hey, search Fadra, get add the second Kaiman, so that way we can search out the Fadra when we need to. So, and here we'll just start wailing our opponent. Activate effect to synchro summon, and they'll activate the MTP was like that's a tribe that would banish a card if they control Link Monster, but since they don't, I decided, it's not gonna matter. What's not red reboot that is, let's not waste it. It's like there's no need to, and especially since we're going for Traditional Dragon, they can't do much after it's summoned. So yeah, so we're just going to declare attack, and I will say thankfully we got a chance to play our combo this time, and then bam, this was fun. But again, if anything, worst came to worst, I still have a Lancia and a Maxi in hand to not only get myself some extra draws, but also stop them when I needed to, so I can ensure I have a play for next turn. So yeah. So yeah, this is the Tenpai deck. I hope you guys enjoy it, and let me know in the comment section what you think. And yeah, give this deck a try if you're sick of all the the Maliss and the Ryzeal stuff. Like I don't know what your feelings are for Tenpai, but it is such an awesome deck. And if you're a big Synchro fanatic like me, yeah, give this deck a try. It is really good against the two top meta decks in the Master Duel format right now. So yeah, give this deck a shot. It is so much fun. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, my friend. I hope you have / had an awesome day today.